Welcome to my channel. This is Dawn with Pink Chair Gaming, and this is my Rags to Riches island of Rock Creek. Let me give you a little update on where we are. As you can see, I have paid off my moving fees and gotten my house. I've talked to the Nooklings, and I am currently gathering all the materials needed so that I can open up Nook's Cranny. I promise this video is not going to show every little thing for getting my island together, as everyone does that and it would just be boring. I want to try and focus on stuff that is relevant to Rags to Riches so you can get a feel for how the challenge is going to play out. So without further ado, let's get started. One of the rules for Rags to Riches is that you have to complete all of your 2x Nook Miles requests every day. These requests can definitely be helpful, as some of them allow little loopholes that allow you to get more money than you would normally be able to, and I will show you a great example of this later in the video. In the early stages of the game, you are allowed to sell everything to the Nooklings. Once the shop opens up, you're only allowed to sell certain items in the shop. Everything else must be sold to the Dropbox. And I definitely wanted to take advantage of this to make the most money I can early on in the game. As I was gathering the materials for the shop, I did not have enough iron nuggets for my island, so I took advantage of being able to use my Nook Mile tickets to go ahead and go villager hunting. My goal is to not have to autofill any of my villagers. And so on my first island, I found Bangle, and she's okay, but she's not somebody that I would necessarily want on my island, so I'm going to go ahead and leave her and try another island. I was really excited when I got to my next island, as it had my sister fruit on it. This will be a great way to earn a lot of extra bells. I was even more excited when I found Rex on the island. He's one of my favorite little lazy villagers, so I went ahead and invited him to my island. I had all of the iron nuggets I needed at this point, but I decided I would just go ahead and keep villager hunting, just so I don't have to worry about it later. And my next island granted me Cookie, and I was really excited because she is one of my favorite villagers, so she definitely got invited to the island. I now have my lazy and my peppy villager, and I could not believe on the very next island I found Gala for my normal. She is also another one of my favorites. So I have 3 really good villagers for my first 3 villager plots. Rags to Riches brings back the weekend markets. My first purchase is going to be a do-rag. According to the rules, as a forager, I can only take advantage of the items in red when I am wearing the do-rag. And I was lucky enough to find a pink one, so I am definitely buying it. One of the objectives that must be met for Rags to Riches is that you must have 25 people sign your board. So I made sure to sign the board before I left the market. After going villager hunting, I finally had enough resources that I could place the shop. Now all I need to do is chop down the tree that's right in front of the door that keeps me from having a good view. I mentioned earlier about loopholes for selling items in the shop. One of those is the hot item of the day. The only time you're able to sell this item in the shop is if it is one of your 2x Nook Miles achievements. Any other time, you can't take advantage of it. And for just 1 stack of wood and iron nuggets, I thought I made out pretty good. One of the other objectives of the game is to fully upgrade your house. I decided to use my newfound wealth to go ahead and pay off my first loan. As a forager, I must complete both the fossil and the sea creature Critterpedia. So let's go on my first diving expedition and see how much I can find. Even if I do look like a crook that just got out of jail. Alright, my pockets were full when I first started, and I have donated what I needed to Blathers. So now let's see how much money I can make from the items that are left over in my pocket. Alright, it looks like I'm going to make about $8,000 for just these few items. I think this is going to work out pretty good as a money-making opportunity. I'm a little tired of wearing the clothes that you get when you start the game, and let's face it, you don't get good clothes from the villagers, so I was happy to be able to buy a thread-worn sweater from Mabel the first time she visited the island. Like my hard mode island, I have decided again to try and breed blue roses, so if you come to my island, be prepared to help me water my flowers. I'll be sure to reward you handsomely. Even though I have to sell the majority of my goods through the drop box at Nooks, I still feel like I'm doing pretty good at making money in the game. I was lucky enough one night to have shooting stars on my island. Even though I can't make a lot of money with the star fragments themselves, I'm hoping I can craft some items to sell at a market to make a little bit of extra money. I have been grinding through playing the game and I finally have resident services upgraded. I'm really happy with how the playthrough is going up to this point, and I'm really happy with the starting villagers and the ones I've gotten on hunts and stuff like that, and the amount of money that I've been able to make up to this point. So that is going to be it for this video. My next video will be grinding through to get to 3 stars, which means lots of villager hunts. So be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!